On August 5th, I woke up to an email from Gogokid that had been sent the night before at 8 p.m. saying that on that day, on August 5th, they were canceling all classes. So essentially, Gogokid fired everybody with zero notice, and it seemed like it was just handled very poorly. For a lot of teachers, it was a slap to the face for people who had been with them, like me, for like 3 years. Some teachers even longer than that. And so, you know, I am not one, though, to stay in the negative. That is not what this video is about. I think that there can always be lessons learned, and I know in this case there are some extremely helpful lessons that we can take away to better build our businesses for the future. So today I'm going to share the 3 major lessons that I learned from getting fired from Gogokid and the ban of teaching English online in China. Are you ready? This is a juicy one, so let's get into it. What's up? It's Danie. I help people build lives of freedom through building scalable brands on YouTube. Are you sure that your YouTube channel is set up to be optimized? Check out my free training that's going to take you step by step at how to do that. So let's dive right in. The first lesson that I learned from the ban of online English teaching in China and getting fired from Gogokid is that independent contractors are extremely replaceable. Waking up to an email saying that that day all classes were canceled and Gogokid was no more showed me just how fragile it can be being an independent contractor. Independent contractors don't have the same rights as employees. And we are contracted, so employee and labor laws, they do not apply to us. That's why many online English teaching companies stopped hiring independent contractors from California, New York, and I think Washington State too, because those states instilled new independent contractor laws that gave you more protection, and a lot of companies were like, we don't want to deal with that, that's why we hire independent contractors, and so they got pushed out. So there are pros and cons to it, right? Because as an independent contractor, you have a lot of flexibility, but you don't have that security and those benefits. Now that all these ESL teachers like you and me are no longer working for Chinese companies, I've seen a lot of teachers now moving to online marketplaces like OutSchool. But please remember that, again, you are an independent contractor, and so that instability is still there. So keeping that in mind, the second lesson learned from the ban of online English teaching in China is if you want true flexibility and freedom in your life, you have to be building your own offer. A little controversial, so hit the like button if you agree with this. Your end goal should never be to work for somebody else. It should always be to have your own offer. My end goal has always been to be working fully for myself. Is that you too? Let me know in the comments. I am working up to working fully for myself. Yes, those affirmations, they're important and they're so helpful, right? And I'm not saying to not be an independent contractor. I still work for OutSchool and I teach classes a couple times a month. But I'm saying you should be working towards your own offer. And I often get asked, Danie, what does it mean to have your own offer? And when I say your own offer, I mean it's something that you are selling that you have full control over. So maybe that is Teachers Pay Teachers resources. Maybe that's coaching services. Maybe that's a course, an ebook, whatever it may be. It's something that you offer that you have control over. And if you were like me and you're multi-passionate and you have no idea what you want to be offering, then I highly recommend that you fill out my business brainstorming worksheet. It's free and it'll really help you kind of sift through some of those ideas and get started with the one thing that you can start building up. Now, what steps do you need to take to be able to build up your own offer? Well, the first thing that you're going to need is cash flow. And so this is where teaching does come into play. I recommend to become an independent contractor with a company and really get it down pat, so that way you have cash flow and you understand you've got a system, you don't have to worry about it. So you have money coming in, and that way you can then take the energy after you figured out that 1 or 2 companies that you're working with, then you can take the energy that you don't have to put in there anymore because you've created a system, and then you put it into your own offer. So you've got kind of money coming in here, this is working, and once you've mastered that, then you move on to one offer, one initial thing you can start with. So maybe that is an ebook, selling online on Etsy, Teachers Pay Teachers. Maybe that's building up your YouTube channel, personal brand, whatever it may be. Pick that one thing and then start building it up. For me, in my journey to building up my own offer, I started with Gogokid and I started referring for Gogokid. And once I had that system kind of built out, then I took that energy and I started building up something that I had more control over. So I had cash flow coming in here, and then I could start building up my own coaching offer, which was helping other teachers build YouTube channels. And I was able to have time to iterate that. And then from there, I could slowly move on and add other streams of income. When I got that email on August 5th, I was really devastated, but I wasn't as affected by it because I had taken the time over those years of teaching to be building up something of my own, because I knew that as an independent contractor, things weren't always gonna last. I couldn't rely on online teaching. I couldn't rely on referring. I had to have something that I was in full control over, and I highly recommend that you do the same. Next, the third lesson I learned from the downfall of ESL in China and losing Gogokid is diversifying your income will save you. Now, I just said to pick one thing and master that first, right? So if you're like me and you have self-diagnosed squirrel brain and shiny object syndrome and you've got loads of different things you're passionate about, I feel you, but pick one thing to start with. Master it. For me, that was YouTube, right? Master it and then move on and add on another income stream, add on another social media platform, but don't try and do all the things at once or you will fail. Pick one, master it, and then add on and diversify in that way. And when you're diversifying your income, diversify in multiple ways. Like for me, even when I was teaching online, I diversified in companies and then even types of companies, right? So I had ESL companies. I also had OutSchool. So that was just a marketplace. It wasn't ESL. And that allowed me to have more stability. So let's say too, you are selling online and you start off selling on Etsy. Once you master that, then you can add Amazon Marketplace. And once you master that, then you can add on Teachers Pay Teachers. So slowly over time, you're able to diversify and accumulate more income and increase the stability in your life and the freedom and flexibility. So that way, when things like the ban of ESL in China happens, you actually have some peace of mind in knowing you're gonna be okay because you've got yourself covered and you've diversified. So for me, I started with online teaching to have that cash flow. I diversified in the different companies, mastered them, and then I started working on my own offer. And once I built up my own offer, then I added on other offers. And right now I'm working on having even 3 offers for my own self. Low end, middle end, and high end offer within my business. And then I have affiliate links and paid partnerships with YouTube, YouTube ads, all these different ways that I know that my personal brand can grow and scale and bring in income in a variety of ways. And if that interests you and you're wanting to build up your personal brand like I have, then definitely check out this video. It'll be really helpful in giving you some starting tips. Through pivoting and the ban of ESL in China, I have found that discomfort leads to growth, which leads to greatness. So know if you are feeling all of the growing pains right now of shifting, that really amazing things are to come. You can be the architect of your life. You can build up a business where you are in full control and you are creating income and impact in this world. Know that it is a possibility for you, and the minute that you can do it is the minute you decide that you can do it, where you have that mindset shift that says, I know I have something valuable that I can offer the world. Everyone has something valuable that they can offer the world. Look up the law of Dharma. You are the best at something in this world solely because you are you, and I think that is just the most incredible thing ever. Now, if this video is helpful for you, it's so helpful for me if you can give it a like, make sure to subscribe, and while you wait for next week's video, be sure to check out these other helpful videos, and I'll see you next time.